Hello and welcome to the Microscopic Diaries. I am Aykül Sadikova, your host. Today I invite you on a journey into the hidden world within us, a world of mysterious passengers and unseen forces. Picture this, a single drop of water shimmering in the sunlight. To the naked eye it looks pure, but within that droplet could lie an entire universe of life. In the quiet hollows of our gut, billions of invisible inhabitants bustle about. Some are friendly caretakers, others are unwelcome interlopers. Parasites. In this episode, we will delve into how the microscopic life in our intestines reflects larger stories about water, sanitation, nutrition, and global health. We start our journey where we find our gut, a winding tunnel inhabited by trillions of microorganisms. It's also sometimes referred to as our second brain or our inner ecosystem. Across evolutionary history, intestinal parasites have evolved tactics to utilize host resources, evade the host immune system, and establish an ecological niche. When a parasite takes up residence in the intestine, the first thing it does, it disrupts the status quo. Studies around the world have documented that parasitic infections often coincide with shifts in the gut's microbial makeup. For example, a large studies found that children carrying intestinal parasites had distinctly different gut bacteria profiles compared to those without. In some communities, people with worm infections even showed higher microbial diversity than uninfected individuals. This is a surprising finding, as we usually associate infections with a loss of balance, not an increase in variety. One hypothesis is that certain worms create an environment that new microbial species can thrive in, like an ecological disturbance that allows different plants to grow after a forest fire. On the other hand, infections by protozoan parasites have been seen to significantly alter which bacteria are dominant in the gut, more like an intruder overthrowing the microbial leadership and letting opportunistic species take over. These changes aren't uniform. They depend on the parasite and the host environment. A parasite is not a passive passenger. It actively interacts with microbiome, sometimes in unexpected ways. Some parasites seem to foster certain beneficial bacteria, while others pave the way for more harmful microbes. The key point is that a parasitic infection doesn't just affect the human host, it sends shock waves through the microbial community living within that host. The result can influence our health in good or bad ways. If the microbial balance tips toward harmful bacteria, we might experience diarrhea or inflammation. But if tips toward a more diverse or stable community, it might mitigate some disease symptoms. In fact, the complex interplay between parasite, host, and microbiome is thought to help dictate how severe an infection will be and even whether the parasite can persist or will be evicted by our defenses. This is a grand drama playing out at the microscopic level, a drama we are only beginning to understand. But how do these parasites survive in the bustling ecosystem of the gut? In the diary of a parasite, one entry might read, "Alone in the hostile gut, I befriend some bacteria and poison others. I send out secret messages to confuse my host's immune soldiers. These secret messages are real molecules, what scientists call excretory secretory products, or ESPs. Parasites release ESPs like chemical spies, which can disarm certain gut bacteria or dampen the host's immune attack. Parasites also release tiny packets called extracellular vesicles. Imagine them as microscopic envelopes filled with signals, which can fuse into host tissues or microbes and alter their behavior. All of these secretions and signals are a form of cross-species communication. Some messages tell the host, "Don't attack me," calming immune responses. Others might tell bacteria, "Move along, the turf is taken," diminishing certain populations. In addition to chemistry, parasites alter the physical and nutritional landscape of the gut. Parasites consume resources and also change how we absorb nutrients. If a parasite is siphoning off sugars or causing our intestines to absorb less or certain foods, there will be extra nutrients left over in the gut lumen. That excess can become a feast for bacteria that thrive on those nutrients. Parasites also tamper with the mucus lining of the gut. the slimy protective barrier that coats our intestines. When a parasite comes along, it can disrupt this mucus world. Through this chemical and habitat change, parasites create a domino effect. The gut environment shifts. Nutrients, pH, oxygen levels, mucus all can be altered, and the microbial community responds in turn. So, as we reach the end, let's pause and wonder. What does it mean? From parasites to the unseen. It means learning to look deeper, to not just treat what's visible, but to investigate the silent stories behind it. It means asking, what are we missing? In a very real way, gut health mirrors global health. Our gut reflects how and where we live. They carry imprints of our diets, our local environments, our struggles, and innovations. The symptoms of parasitic infections are often quiet, not as dramatic as the movies depict. They whisper, a bit of fatigue, a stomach that never feels quite right, a child who doesn't grow as fast as she should, and in that silence, the infection continues, sometimes for months, sometimes for years. This is why parasitic diseases are often missed, not because they don't matter, but because they don't shed. In public health, in medicine, and in society, the most important signals are often the quietest. They are not just medical problems. They are social indicators. The World Health Organization estimates that over 2.2 billion people lack access to safe drinking water, and 4.2 billion, more than half of humanity, do not have safe sanitation services. The result is that countless individuals are exposed to preventable gut infections. Roughly 1.4 million deaths each year could be avoided with clean water, proper toilets, and good hygiene. It's another reminder that what's happening inside us isn't always what we expect, and that health isn't just about what we eat, but what eats us. Thank you for joining me today on the Microscopic Diaries. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and always listen to your gut, because sometimes the smallest signals tell the biggest stories.